Let me put my prop down first. Welcome to the Wildlings sailing show. We have bought a cheap catamaran for 11k and we have been refitting it ever since. And we have ripped out a lot of the interior already. We have limited time to fix it all. Last week marked the dodgy bulkhead and the oven, which everyone was really worried about. But we didn't use it ever since that time, so don't worry, we will check through everything and be safe. This week you will see us finishing this hole, porthole.
Hey.
And last but not least, enjoy the video. High five.
So today is my tinkering day. I'm pretty much going through like intense days. Yesterday was video editing and doing the bulkhead, which is actually quite a big job. Now, today just gives me a chance to double check the bulkheads because a lot of people are mentioning the bulkheads saying they don't look too good, and I guess after watching my bulkhead repair, a lot of you guys are going to be worried. Now, check out the bulkheads on this boat. There is absolutely no problem with the main structural bulkheads. So I'll go into the porthole and I'll show you some of those beasts. Ooh, don't look at this, don't look at this. All right, here we are. Okay, so as you can see, this is where the kind of main structural bulkheads are. You can see they've actually been screwed through, probably at manufacture, and there's absolutely no cracking or delamination. The bulkheads are absolutely solid. I'm not sure if you can make out, but the thickness of there is almost 5 mil thick, this bulkhead. Next one, coming through to our luxury sink. A whole room dedicated to a sink. You can see here, I don't think this would be too structural as it's on a window basically, but you can see very, very thickly laid and very, very clean. And I know it's been painted, but you tap it absolutely everywhere, no signs of delamination. Now this is the most important part of the boat pretty much, because this is at the front. If any sort of cracking is going to appear, it's going to appear here. So obviously this is kind of like the hull to center point joint. Ignore the rusty fuel tank. And it is clean as a whistle. And then if you look over here, and this is a main bulkhead, as you can see, and it is solid. Oh, what's this? I hear you say. It's a crack. No, it's not. It's just paint. But you can see underneath this paint is incredibly solid, uncracked. The paint has just delaminated, it's just the paint. These things are rock solid. And this part also is very important. And there are no cracks. It is incredibly solid, just like out of the factory. On YouTube there are a lot of stories of boats ripping apart, especially catamarans, and there are literally thousands and thousands of sailing YouTube channels, so if one badly designed catamaran fell apart, it doesn't mean that this one is going to. So we have checked everything, all the important things, and we're pretty sure it's going to be good. I am very happy with the structural integrity of this beast. So here is new fuel tank place. It's in the master bedroom, which is not the best design, but it's a shiny new fuel tank. New hose going directly to the engine. It's going to be nice. I will create a little panel here so you have a nice 10 centimeters of space for Nadiana's beauty products. Down here, I don't know, we'll just sort that out. This is just a dry fit, back to that manky old tank. Here is the manky old tank, which I do believe is actually fitted with a drain, because it comes out here, and a little turny, and there is fuel in here. So my idea is to drain it into a bucket and dispose of it in the recycling. I'm thinking of cutting it out. It's obviously been laid up with the original whole structure and then the deck's been plopped on top of it, so it's got to come out. Or does it have to come out? It's a lot of weight at the front of the cat, so it's not ideal.
So I got my mattress and I marked it, the template on the curve. If you can see a very vague pencil line, because I also don't have a foam cutter, so I'm just gonna use a really sharp knife. I also find some people use bread knife, so maybe I will have a try on the corners. This is my vague diagram of my measurement and calculating into the most efficient cut. So far my measurements are okay, but this is my first time done anything like this. Anything that needs to be measured and cut into curved sections. So hopefully it goes alright. Just need to take it slow and easy. I want to stop Mark from buying this knife, and now I thank him for buying this, because I actually has nothing to cut this with. The scissor wouldn't work, but this blade is really just perfect to cut this thing from. Cut through like a butter.
So I'm back trimming off the excess fiberglass from the bulkhead, and I'm going to just sand it down. I'm going to apply a few extra bits of tabbing just to tidy it up, and then it'll be sanded and ready for painting. Hopefully after today I'm going to be a lot more proud of it. This bulkhead now is incredibly solid, so like I'd said, it's not pretty, but it's very solidly filled. It will not move now. Very solid. So this is thick. You can see the fillet through it. It just needs sanding down here where there's bits of strands coming up. You can just see where it's a little bit rough here, so I just need to tidy that. And here there's well, it didn't wet out properly here, so there's a bit of air in it.
So I'll change the upholstery on it and keep this little cool bench. Mark's finishing sanding fiberglass. It was such a good job and a hard job. Thanks for taking it up.
It's alright. Cheese of the day is this very soft blue cheese. It's just called blue. Basically every day lunch consists of just cheese and bread. It's super fast, simple, and then you can crack on with the rest of the work for the rest of the day. And later on we have a little something special made by Nadiana.
Do you have to put the chisel in so that it shows that you're working?
You can't see the chisel. There's a chisel here. It's called a Marco taco.
Thank you. I would love to take a Marco taco.
Reusing pots for epoxy can actually be quite easy because it creates a layer. You can basically pry it out and then voila! That was all the litter and rubbish, old fiberglass and tissues and stuff and disposable stuff.
I feel bad every day like creating some of these trash.
With epoxy there's so much waste, but at least we can salvage a little mixing pot. Wooden sticks can be salvaged. That's for my filleting.
Nice.
Unfortunately, paintbrushes have to be condemned, so just buy the cheapest possible
Us
ones.
humans are just little parasites
We are
for
parasites.
the earth.
We are. I'm really struggling with the thickness of this epoxy. It's very, I don't know if it's because it's quite cold or it's the temperature,
I've used this stuff before and it's usually a nice liquid. Am I putting too much hardener in? I'm not sure. It's very gloopy, it's almost like a wallpaper paste. The only good thing is it takes a while to set, so I would have thought that if it was too much hardener it would have set much quicker than what it does. But it just means there's more working time, which is good for me. But for this batch I'm going to use thickener. I'm going to use the silica, so it doesn't really matter that it's thick, it's actually better that way. But, well, there's my peanut butter. Probably a little bit wetter than I would have liked, but it's all gone. I can't remember how much this cost, but it's all gone. And I've said many times, I don't know where the costs come, but I've probably used about 50 euros worth of epoxy just on one bulkhead. Alright, so it's difficult to film while fiberglassing, but I have filled in the bits that I needed to fill. There is a little bit of delamination here. It's just the floor. This is the starboard hull, and it just came apart a tiny bit, so I grinded it all back and I filled it with a big fat fillet, and I will put fiberglass over that. Now I'm pretty much satisfied with this bulkhead. I'm sure a lot of people are going to think it's not done perfectly. It's certainly not done perfectly, but it is strong. And if it's not strong, then it will crack and it will not damage the integrity of the boat, hopefully. But then I'll learn that next time I need to do it even better.
So for the head, we're not gonna do any structural change this time, because we think this would be perfect for us at the moment. Just cleaning up, and I salvaged this one from like black, and I just send it to quite retro. This is another good thing of buying old boats, because it comes with retro stuff, which is quite chic now. Before, we don't have any shower, nor even a sink in the bathroom, and now we have double shower and a big sink room. Mark has taken up my request to build 2 little shelves on the side. Haha. Thank you very much, Captain. Today's job was hard, but not that rewarding. Mark helped to sand all of these bulkhead. He sanded the bulkhead, and on this side I have varnished it. It looks pretty much like what it was before, so that's why, hence, it's not that rewarding. It's not like if you paint a color then it will be really different, but then still, I think when the varnish dried a bit, I'm quite happy about the change. And tomorrow will be the painting job, so we'll see big difference in result. These hard but not rewarding jobs teaches me how to be patient.
Whoa. So this is where the toilet is, and this is where the little drain is. Let's see how many of these bottles are in there. I hope it's not full. On the 3rd can, the first can leaked all over the floor. Such a waste. So, after my tank draining, which was, well, actually I felt a little bit bad for wasting all the fuel, and I think the fuel tank was full, so I still have loads. I'm not sure whether to dump it or whether to keep it. I'll see if someone actually wants it. So I've not poured everything away. We thought, oh, it's quite cheap, just buy a tank for 150 euros. But then you forget that you need to have hose, you need to have tank vent hose, you need to have a tank vent, you need to have a tank fill up. I still need to buy things to get the tank installed, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a rest for now.
slowly chip away at it. And there's so many things that need to be slowly chipped away at.
Don't worry, it's time for bed. Tomorrow is a new day.
Tomorrow's a new day of chipping away slowly.
Tomorrow I will make progress.
Well, I hope so. I hope we both make progress. I don't know if I'm making any progress. I'm going a little bit crazy now. I haven't stopped since waking up. Anyway, tomorrow I think I'm going to service the Blake's through hole / stopcocks for the toilet. Sanitary pipe for the toilet. It's like €15 a metre for that stuff.
What? Really?
It depends what size. I need to measure
Expensive
it up.
poo
I was
poo.
thinking measuring, doing this and that. Got little pieces here. You got to measure this outside diameter. And it's quite fun. It's not bad. It's just like Lego for adults. But I mean,
Good way to look at it.
it's fun. But sometimes it just gets a bit tedious. But it's fun. But you have to be in the mood for it. You need to take regular breaks. Anyway, that's enough BS for one night.
Yeah, it's better be double sure than fast and sorry.
That is so wise. Is that an ancient Chinese proverb?
No, I just came up with it.
The fuel tank and draining the fuel tank was just killing me, so I need to give that a bit of a rest. But now I'm just measuring up pipes for the toilet and the heads. So I was going to replace all the through holes, but actually we've got 2 Blake's through holes. A smaller one for the toilet intake and a bigger one for the toilet outtake. So I'm just going to service them, I'm going to take them out. I'm going to replace the hose as well for proper sanitary hose. The hose that's being used is just water hose and it's not going to be odour free. I like to take big stinky poos and I don't want Nadiana to have to smell that in the morning. These are coming in very, very handy. Thank you very much, Justin. Great for measuring inner diameter and also outer diameter. And the best thing, because a lot of these things are in imperial on this boat, because it was originally English. Look at that, switching between the two. Fantastic. We're slowly chipping away at things like I said last night, but I think our project management needs to be a lot better. We thought we were pretty organised, but we're really not. But we're trying to make that deadline, 23rd of May. Got to get the boat in the water, get all these key items ticked off the list. What are you doing today, Nadiana?
What I do best. Painting and sanding and painting and sanding.
How's the project coming along so far, do you think?
I think we're a bit messed up our plans because of the new jobs popping out. But I think in overall, we're on time.
Woohoo! Whoa, it came out! Oh, I was not expecting that to come out. That is super lucky. I've heard these are very difficult to get out. And it looks like in pretty good condition as well. Hey, let's hope this one is also good. Whoa, I knocked the camera when I did that, sorry, but there you go. Perfect. So here's another job which just popped up. Terrible fitting. The wood is rotten. So it's obviously been leaking. I hope the core's okay, we'll check that out. But we're gonna unscrew. I'm gonna need Nadiana's help to hold these bolts while I unscrew. So I found this piece of wood which I'm going to use. It's hardwood. I'm just going to use it as the old wooden piece for the fitting. So a lot of people suggested to get straight cuts to use a circular saw, and luckily the boat comes with a circular saw. Now this blade, I shouldn't be putting my fingers there, but this blade is very rusty, but let's see if it works. The camera cut out yesterday when I was preparing the piece of wood. Now I'm just sanding where the piece of wood will go, and then we'll get it fitted this morning.
As much as that we don't want to do much about the bathroom, but I think now I still want to change it a little bit so we can enjoy our poo-poo time in a beautiful, nice toilet. Which reminds me of a Chinese saying, 人挪活，树挪死, which means people moving, more life, tree move, death. So I think it's just changing new environment, and then you will have more new ideas. And it's always good for people to have new ideas.
So yesterday I went to the shop to get, well, I found out that the fuel pipe is cheaper there than it is online. So I got some fuel pipe. I also got some Sika 291, that's for the fitting that we will do today. Voila. And also I got a little piece, and that will go to the fuel intake on the engine. But I need to go to the shop again, a different shop, to get some toilet safe pipe. I'm gonna go now while my varnished piece of wood is drying. Another thing, I wanted to get some valve grinding paste to clean out the seatcocks, but I couldn't find it anywhere, so I'm just going to grease them up and screw them down, and then later on, before we go in the water, I'll give them a good valve pasting. So I've got my pipe, got my new odour-free pipe. I think it was about €5 per metre, just got 2 metres of each. So now I'm just going to take all the clips off this little hose pipe. Oh, if you can see this little hose pipe connector. I've even got the extra bit of pipe that goes here and fits onto that. So I'll get all that sorted. I will reuse this little pump guard as well on the intake. Jabsco stuff's not cheap. It looks a little bit scummy. I'll give that a clean out as well. So I've absolutely burnt through all of my Jubilee clips, because obviously you have to double clip everything, and with this little pump that I've put on as well, it wasn't double clipped before, but yeah, I'm gonna have to stock up on some more hose clips, or as we say in England, Jubilee clip. So managed to get that fitting on. A little bit messier than I wanted. It's a bit of an eyesore at the moment. I'll try and clean it up later. I used way too much sticker, so I learned that little lesson. It would be interesting to see how much I actually used. But I'll tighten it up tomorrow. I think you're supposed to do that, wait 24 hours and then tighten it up. It's Sika 291, so it's kind of rubbery. Let's see what Nadiana is up to.
I've painted and reassembling back our nice closet, and the big hole is all painted and almost ready to move in. After this, I will unpack all of our clothes so we don't look like so we don't wear the same clothes forever, and we can soon move into our nicely renovated porthole. Did you guys see us live this week? We cheekily did 2 random live popped up, so make sure you click the bell button so that you know when we do these cheeky pop-up lives, you don't miss it. And we do delete it afterwards because it's just for fun. We quit our 9 to 5 job and we started our 9 to 9 job. But thank you very much everyone for watching, and thank all these people who showing up on the screen now that we can start our 9 to 9 job with some capitals. I'm sure you heard about it 1,000 times, but I'm still gonna say it. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and share, and do all the good routines. It really does help us. Thank you very much, and we will see you next week. Bye bye.